I've been obsessing over this Dior 2001 Smoky Eye editorial, so let's recreate it together. In this video, I will show you exactly what I used to recreate this gorgeous, multi-dimensional, sultry smoky eye. I'm gonna use this, it's a blush, but to me, it's like extremely subtle. This is the Milani blush in number 1 or 01 Romantic Rose. Just taking that on the outer periphery of the face. I'm not really going onto the cheeks with this, just around the periphery and on the side of my face. If you prefer different placement, feel free to do that, but I'm kind of following this photo. But this is so subtle. It almost doesn't even show up on me, but it's just enough. It's a whisper. I'll take some up onto the forehead as well, like a very subtle neutral contour. As usual, I'll have everything written down below for you, and I'm very excited because links are back. Ooh. Links are back, so you can find everything up in my Amazon makeup favorites and some of the things on the TikTok showcase. Let's get into this eye look. To create this look, this is the Cheery Up Monologue palette and the Beauty Bay Smoky. This is a 42 shade Smoky palette, but look at this fucking palette. Do you see in the crease, there's like a khaki olive green color? So we're gonna go in with that. And to get there, I'm gonna mix a couple of shades. So I'm gonna take this and this to lighten it up because that is quite dark and saturated. These are very saturated pigments in this palette, so I'm gonna mix those on the back of my hand, and I have enough pigment there, hopefully for both eyes, so that way it's matched, you know, because if I go and mix it twice, it might not be the same color. And then I knock any of the fallout back onto my hand so I can keep picking that up. And I'll just go into this crease and very lightly lay that color down. You can see it's swept out just a little bit, not too much. Going back in and picking up some of that pigment. And I'll just very lightly keep building this up ever so slightly. You can see it's like basically right there at the tail of the brow and all the way up into the inner crease here. Now I'll pick some of that up and repeat it on the other eye. So that was 2 layers, and I think we got there pretty quickly. I think that's pretty much how I want it to look. There's almost like a yellowy aspect right in here. Yeah, I'm gonna take some golden ochre from the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. A lot of fallout with this palette, but these colors are true like painter's colors. So good, so good. And I'll just go in and blend that ochre color right into the crease. I like that, just adding a wash of golden ochre into that crease. Now with a clean fluffy brush, I'm just really going to blend out those edges and soften up any of those lines. You can always wipe away with your finger too. I'm just gonna take some of that cream color from the Monologue palette, pop that right there up into the brow bone. I take pinky finger so that I'm picking up a small amount of shadow. And then I'm gonna layer this up, so one more dip, and I'll just go at the highest point now with that. Now we go into the smoky part. So the way this looks to me with my eye, and it could be graded this way, but either way, we're recreating what we're seeing. And the way I'm seeing that, this gray has a taupey purple in it. So to create that, I'm going to mix this color graphite and iron. So these two together, and then you can see there's a little bit of shimmer in that lid as well, so we'll probably use Sword. I don't know, let's see. Oh my god! So I'm gonna take a more dense eyeshadow brush, mix that color graphite with the color iron, and lighten it up a little bit with marble, mixing those 3 together. Mixing, and see all that fallout that's coming off? That's what I want. And then we'll just very slowly build up those layers. I want it to coat every single little hair on this brush so I get an even application. I'm stamping this on first so that I mitigate fallout. Oh yeah. So just keeping this on the lower lid and then blending just right above my lower lid. This might look different on your anatomy, so follow your anatomy. Really fucking nailed it. This is so good. Man, I really love these old Dior makeup adverts. I'll just keep doing them. There's no wing on the outer corner here. In fact, it looks like it's really kept really just right there inside the eye. I might have even taken that out a little bit too far, so I'll just erase a little bit there. Go back into that pile, dip number 2, and just focus that in the center / lower part of the eye. Now I will take some underneath the eye, and again, just stamping that on first. So I'm getting exact placement. It's not super low under the eye and just right to the end of the eye. Nailed it! We'll just go in with layer 2 and just again stamping right there on the lash line just to intensify a little bit. Okay, now I'll repeat this on this eye. Very happy with the color match on this. So I'm gonna take Void and Sword and mix them together on my fingers on the back of my hand. Yep, now just taking the very tip right there in the first third of the eye, and then with a clean finger blending that out, and then whatever's left tapping it out into the crease. And I'll repeat this on this eye. And as you can see, there's no shimmer on the lower lid, but what I do love, and I think is such a beautiful, subtle, nuanced detail, is there is a matte black liner on the top of the eyelid, and then on the bottom is like a wet looking black liner. So very excited about that. I love that play on finishes. So now I'm going to take the shade Jet, and this looks like a dark bluish black, so I'm going to mix that with some of this color Nighttime. And again, mixing those on the back of my hand, the back of my hand. Look at this palette. This line goes all the way from the inner corner to just the very tip. We're not winging it out, so I'll start by laying that pigment down, stamping it on the lash line. I almost feel like I should wet this color because I'm starting to get some fallout, so maybe I will do that. That way I can also deepen up the color. I'm just gonna lay another little pile of saliva down, whatever, use water if you're not comfortable with that, but I just like to very gently dip into that and pick up that pigment until I get almost to like a clay-like texture. Now we will lay that color down. First on the inner third, the center third of the eye, and tight lining all the way down to the inner point, keeping that brush just hugging the eye line, almost like tight lining. I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit more black too, now that I have that bluish purple down. And this is layer number 2, and just keeping that pretty close to the lash line this time. We got that first layer of smoke down, and the more we layer this, the more dimension it gets. Just right there to the outer tip of the eye, get into that lash line and just kind of rub that in there. I really love how this is turning out. Very pleased. Now, we will take the Melt Cosmetics Slick Waterline pencil in the color Onyx, and because this has more of a wet look to it, this will be really good for that under lower lid. Is that what you call lower lid? I don't know what the fuck you call that. The lower part of the eye. That'll be really good. And we'll use it in the waterline as well. I'll start in the waterline first. That way some of that can be smudged out into the bottom. And I'll just blink. And then I'll take this right there, right on the lash line, into the inner corner. Now I'm going to take the 211 brush and smudge this out. Do I like that? Maybe I'm gonna go over it with a little bit of gray, match the tone a little bit better because this is way more dark. But first I'll even out the eye. I'm gonna take some of this shade Wolf. This is the most brownish, taupey-ish gray, dark gray that we have in here, and I'm just gonna kind of go over that black a little bit to soften it up a bit. Let's take that original dense brush and kind of go in and further smoke out some of that gray color to get a little bit more coverage under there. And take that original graphite and just take that right over top that line that we just created. Ah! I'm gonna have to go back in and powder the whole face. I gotta learn how to do my eyes first and then the face, but I find that extremely difficult. I find it difficult because I like working with a canvas. You know what I mean? I like to see my face already done. Okay, so I'm gonna brush up the brows. But look at this eye, we fucking nailed it. You guys, we done it. Now that I have my brows brushed up and my eyelashes curled, I'm gonna take this Maybelline Firework mascara in Very Black and take all of the excess mascara off of the bristles because this is a very clumpy, difficult to control wand and bristle and formula. So because these are very fine, refined lashes, this is not a clumpy mascara look. I'm taking all of that excess product off. There's a lot, just so I very lightly coat the brows, and I'll probably just do 2 coats. And I'll start at the very root of the lash to concentrate the product there first and then wiggle it gently out because there's almost no product on the tips of her lashes. It almost doesn't even look like she's wearing any, but you know for sure she is. And then when I have a good concentration of that product at the root, then I will start to bring that lash out and swipe the lash through that product. But I really am avoiding the tips of the lashes. We don't want this to look clumpy at all. See, just enough to add some dimension to the eye. And now we'll very lightly, same concept, focus the product at the root of the lash first. This is perfect. Now I'll repeat this on this side. Now we're gonna do the brows, and to do this, I'm going to stick with my red brow, even though she's a brunette. I'm gonna stick with my red brow for this look because I've really been liking it. So I'm gonna use the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Auburn, and this is quite a skinny brow, not super skinny, not early 90s skinny, but concentrate the color mostly in the center of the brow. Oh my god, do you remember when eyebrow threading was a thing? Did you guys thread your eyebrows? And I haven't done any of that in so long. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of an arch here. So I'm going outside of my natural brow to do that. Just elevate the brow a little bit. Remember eyebrow threading? That was fun. This is a weird color that I don't think I have in my arsenal, but I might have in PR, but I haven't opened it yet. Fuck. So let's just go with, we'll start with this. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil BFF, and I'm gonna put this all over the lip. And I'm not going crazy outside my natural lip line because there's no overlining here. I'm just gonna keep this right on my natural lip line. This is very warm toned in comparison. That has a lot more yellow. I got as close as I could. I think maybe my orange fairy tale color would have been a better match, but I don't have time to figure out the color on this. So this is the finished look, you guys. Look at, I think we really nailed it. The nose could use a little bit more contouring. She definitely has a smaller nose. Okay, you guys, this is the finished look. I think we nailed it. Aside from the lips, but I don't know if I have anything that color. If I do, it's waiting in a PR box that I've yet to open. So kind of bummed about that because that color is so amazing and matches the greenish yellow. We almost got there. If I can find the lip, I'll come back and do another video, but this is where we landed. I'm very, very pleased with this look. It feels very, as it is, early 2000s kind of grunge, but it's very elevated at the same time. Hello, it's Dior. Stunning. I love this look. I don't usually like a tight-lined eyeline, but something about this made it feel really elevated and gorgeous, and I think it's just because of the layers of color that we laid down. It's not just a flat, tight-lined black smoky eye. There's dimension, there's layers, there's different colors and textures going on, so it makes this an overall kind of very unique smoky, tight-lined smoky eye. What do you think of this look? Do you remember this editorial? I don't, but I love doing these recreations with you. Let me know if you want to see more makeup recreations and what some of your favorite editorial recreations you might want me to recreate. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know if you have a shade you think would match this, and I'll see if I can get my hands on it. Thank you so much for watching, and ciao for now.